everyone, good morning. We are here at... Oh, he's got a dog.
Check it out, man.
China. Babe, we're here again. Look, China Sea restaurant. Our favorite
Sorry
place.
for the dog there.
Yeah.
Shut up for the next wee while. Amanda, where's Amanda? Bet you're glad you sat at the back of the bus. Where are you guys from? Doing this tour, just a day out.
Aye, well I went to Harrison Lewis,
Alright.
so I'm no long back for that one. My nanny came through, it's my 50th yesterday, so she
happy
wrote
birthday.
us on this.
Oh, happy birthday, happy birthday. Okay, excellent, so kind of day out. Amanda, you guys over on holiday?
Yes, for a wedding.
Oh, over the back of a volcanic plug. Because like Edinburgh Castle, Stirling Castle here is built on a volcanic plug. And this is a really old bit of Stirling. How they get away with building monstrosities like that left and right, I don't know. Anyway, let's ignore these buildings. Just walk up here. We're going to go up here. Some really old buildings up here. A couple of hotels coming up on the left hand side which didn't used to be. The Colosseo, the first hotel on the left, just on the left there. That used to be the old Stirling Royal, and that was the infirmary, Stirling Royal Infirmary. That was the old hospital in there. And beside it, the Stirling Highland Hotel. This is the old Stirling High School, and you can still see in the front of it engraved the High School 1888. Okay, so that was the old high school. Straight ahead of us is the Church of the Holy Rood. Now, if you've been in Edinburgh, you know Holyrood Palace. That's the Church of the Holy Rood. Now, incidentally, in that church, that's where James VI of Scots, the son of Mary Queen of Scots, was crowned. So Mary Queen of Scots was forced to abdicate. Her son James VI, about 6 years of age, was crowned king, and he was crowned king within that church there in the mid-1500s. So he was crowned king. That's the Church of the Holy Rood. Now as we make our way up to the ramparts, there's a car in front of me that doesn't really know what it's doing again. This would be a great job if it wasn't for other drivers and occasionally passengers, not looking at anybody in particular. This looks like a wall. This isn't a wall. This is the front building of what was called Mars Walk. Mars Walk was an old rich 1500s merchant's house. Absolutely phenomenal. You see how small the doors are. I mean, look at that last door, how small people were back in the day. Apparently that last really small door is a perfect height for Mel Gibson. I also remember, cut a bit slack. So folks, we're going to go up onto the ramparts. We're going to park up the ramparts. As we do so, to the right hand side, you'll get a fabulous view of the Wallace Monument over there on that hill, Abbey Crag. Now that was put up there by the Victorians. Okay. Again, I truly believe there's more than a bit of romanticisation, if there's such a word. Now, just excuse me, a bit like Parks of Hamilton, rabbies don't do waiting. So we're just going to go right up here and bypass all these people. There's no point in sitting in a queue when we can go this way because you guys are all pre-booked in. So what we're going to do is go and park up, probably down at the bottom somewhere. And then it sometimes varies day by day, but what I'm going to do is just assume that what I'm going to do is the right thing. If it changes. What we're going to do, guys, we're going to get off the bus, okay? Just give me a few minutes to talk about some stuff, then we're going to get off the bus. I'll walk you up. Just let me try and get in this. Give me a second, folks.
It's the third one you've been in. Third castle you've been in.
My group can just hang about in there for a few seconds.
But
California Pub, sunny states. Thank you, enjoy your day.
Runde na Stirling.
a different language.
Think so.
Is that?
Yeah. What language is this?
Cool, I like this one.
No
Can I do
entry.
Just over by the well, be leaving in about 5 minutes.
Okay. Just over there, is it? Thanks very much.
Así que bueno, han mantenido ese color con el gran salón. Después os enseñaré por dónde se...
What language is this bit?
Así que aquí tenemos las cocinas, nos va a permitir...
What language is that?
En la entrada al palacio.
Palacio. The cannons. Look at the cannons.
Oh yeah,
Espanol. Three-gun battery. Look at the graveyards.
The really densely packed vehicle that's known as the children. Then heading down the highway in Lomond. Because English Army hasn't been extended. That's a local first line. When Scott appeared on the field, so the cause is going heading all the way down to the right here, folks.
All the way to the right.
This one.
Especially up in the top corner, not only have they put in a new floor, they've actually changed the angle of the floor. So when we go up a bit later on, we'll find it's really nice and flat.
Which one?
So definitely.
I think it's this one.
The way you based on doorways and archways. But the actual flooring surface, we've actually no idea what it will be. Probably what these is called obviously the working part. Probably just something there rather than to have people walking in and out, there would be time for the last road in it, but probably they wouldn't have made an effort for it. Yeah. Maybe certain and so training will be
That's a guardhouse.
Those are the sounds. Female because
Yeah. I thought there's a man in there, but it's just a Mannequin. Fuck, babe. Here. Here. Scares me. Hi everyone, we're here at Stirling Castle.
You see just here beside us, all the way up to where the grey buildings now stand on the other side of the outer close. This is an absolutely huge structure across 2 floors. It would have included not only the kitchens, but also the brew house and the bakehouse as well. These kitchens were taken down to provide the base of the Grand Battery and the Master Gunner's house in 1689, and they were then forgotten about again, right up until 1921.
Martin Blackhill.
Oh, look at that!
Nice, babe.
Wait. Freezer. Freezer.
Do you want that one?
No.
Nearly all the circulations are original, but a couple of copies nearly all the video at the end you can see.
Nagtintin.
Breakfast and the benefits its wing would bring. The clue to the scheme is this figure. The Roman god Saturn ruled over a legendary golden age, a time of great peace and prosperity. By putting Saturn on his palace, James is letting his people know that his rule, just like Saturn's, brings a new golden age. Next.
Medal souvenirs. Hello, we're lost. Are we lost, baby boy?
All the way through.
Il en fait un morceau là. Comme ça, on va y aller. Il n'a pas mis de jaune. Et là, elle n'aime pas le jaune.
Et sa tête, l'alouette.
Tu lui fais vert.
Il a mal au ventre. Il a mal aux intestins. Il a fait ça marron.
What's in there, babe?
Some vases.
The queen wears.
Bon, on arrive à rire. On arrive à rire avec ce métier.
No. on the wall. Who's the funniest of them all? Can you catch it? How to catch it, babe?
Can't catch it.
Stupid. What a view, babe. Oh my god. What's that?
Yes, I do.
Is that real charcoal, babe? No?
Nah, it's not real basic.
My wife and I only visited Fairy Glen about 3 years ago. There's an element of different.
I like your outfit.
You know how he feels about French women like that?
Oh goodness, hi there.
Welcome, my lords and ladies, to the Queen's Inner Hall. I'm John Humphrey from Royal Usher Advert Service. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask me, because although I may be a royal servant, I do know a bit about what goes on within this palace. The nobles blab a lot, and they gossip a lot. So they always leave the juicy tidbits for us. But if you had come seeking more news today, you would have been meeting with Her Grace Mary East, the Dowager Queen. So the first room you came to, perhaps 100 visitors a day. The next door, 40, 50. This chamber, 1 or 2 a day.
The Queen's bed chamber.
Oh, so you have to kind of allude to it. You have to
That's my bed, babe.
or wait for them to get back. Right for that saying
The King's bed chamber.
And we're back here again.
Yeah.
I want to see a bit of garden.
Yeah, but let's go.
It's called the Douglas Gardens.
Is it? Yeah, let's go to Douglas Gardens.
And on the 18th of November, 1855, disaster strikes when one of those young officers' rooms catches fire and the whole
He's a better talker, I think. Look, babe.
Yeah. What's that?
I didn't want to walk in.
Yeah. So this is your garden. Knock knock.
It's the one we were in, wasn't it?
Which way, babe? What's that?
It's lovely chocolate.
Yeah. It's milk chocolate, right?
Let's go down to the Bruce statue, babe. This one. Hero of Scotland.
King Robert the
We
Bruce.
watched his movie on YouTube, babe.
I don't remember.
Yeah, that's right.
King Robert the Bruce. June 24, 1314. What movie was that, babe?
It's the Outlaw King.
Grateful Colonials Day written on it. So I don't know if you want to smile or send me a diatribe back. Anyway, listen, I can normally alienate a nation within the first 15 minutes. That's not bad, getting to nearly midday before there. We don't tend to do that behind us. Cheerful. A bowl of soup or something. There's also the little restaurant in the village.
That's how you feel, man.
Sweet anyway, it's just that rather than lunch here and do the road after, we do the road first and then we'll have lunch down in Aberfoyle. So I'll tell you some of the places when we get down to Aberfoyle itself. For the moment we're making our way, really making our way into the area called the Trossachs. And the Trossachs is often called Scotland in miniature. I'm not entirely convinced. Basically, if you have a bit of water, a tree and a hill, they call it Scotland in miniature. And I'm not sure this is the best, but if you really want to see Scotland in miniature, go to the Isle of Arran in the Clyde, because you get the mountains in the north, get a fault line through the middle, lowlands in the south.
Alright, you make it.
You can also go camping here, babe.
See, it's Kermit.
Yeah.
Kermit area. Fishing.
No, stop. I mean, no.
Thank you, babe. Nice.
The lamb, babe. Actually lamb, like the sheep.
Yeah. Logie! Logie! Please wash your hands after touching the animals.
Okay, well, good afternoon. How are you all doing? Right, what we're going to do for you is very briefly discuss the different sheep farming. Very, very important. And I just think that
Straight to the bar. Yeah, palahubog di ka ha. Palahubog di ka ha. Straight to the bar ha.
This guy.
Right or left?
There was quite a few families, yeah. And we only had a 2-man tent, and there was 16 children dogs.
Bonnie Bands. First time I've ever been here in my life.
The very last purpose of the tent she was built in 1953 for Clyde in Glasgow and brought to Loch Lomond by train in sections before being assembled on the Lomond side. She represents those days where she and many ships like her sailed the length of the Loch filled with visitors. These ships also provided a valuable mail and transportation service to the local communities. As with many
See any kayak or something?
Let's take a picture.
That's what we're staying next week. That's where we're staying next week.
large house in the building, being able to spot between the trees, talking neighbours. The house was commissioned in 1960. Glasgow music it was designed by famous Scottish architect John Lomond. During the Second World War, the house was used as a convalescent home for men and sailors. After the war, gesture, the house was converted into a youth hostel and to a generous donation from American trade unions. The house remained a youth hostel until 2012. Today it is owned by Outlander to the Chinese offices. The house also marks the site of the hunting lodge of King Robert the Bruce, who owned much of the land and islands of Loch Lomond. These used as a private hunting estate, introducing much of the deer and game birds to the islands and surrounding area. Inchmarren is a mile and a half long by a half mile wide and is the largest inland island in Great Britain. The island has been inhabited since the 6th century when the monks of St. Mirren settled largely. Between the trees on the bank you may be able to spot the ruined remains of Lennox Castle. The castle was built by the 8th Earl of Lennox in 1394. It was for a short time the residence of Mary Queen of Scots before her capture and execution on the orders of her half-sister, Queen Elizabeth I. Much later, another famous visitor to the island was legendary Scottish outlaw Rob Roy MacGregor.
who led a night raid on the island, which by this time was used as a base for government forces. He and his clansmen stole the island's cattle, as well as all of the island's boats to avoid pursuit. Today the island is privately owned by the Scott family. It has a small farm, hotel and a restaurant, and is a very popular destination in summer for local boat owners and water sport enthusiasts. During the summer months they run a ferry service between the island and Ireland for visitors.